We're here with Justin Varghese. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I'm Justin Varghese. I'm the North American Marketing Manager for DreamHack. My role really revolves around building up our 3 U.S. shows. That would be DreamHack Atlanta, which is rapidly approaching year 4. DreamHack Dallas, which is going to be our 5th year in Texas. And DreamHack Anaheim, where we're at right now, our year 1 show and our first West Coast festival.
So this is the guy that's responsible for getting everybody in the place.
I wouldn't say it's me. I mean, it's a big labor of love. I'm grateful for the fact that we have really engaging content and great eSports to participate and spectate that make it so that my job is a bit easier in regards to bringing butts and seats.
Yeah, but there's got to be something hard about your job too. So give us a little bit of the process.
Yeah, so I think that the toughest part about my job in particular, and it's probably something that's shared by a lot of marketing people in this space, is you're essentially competing against people's office spaces, their bedrooms, and their home theater setups, right? I think that's kind of our biggest competition, and the biggest barrier is really taking somebody who's so used to gaming online, maybe by themselves, and convincing them, leaving the nest, like taking that risk of leaving the nest to try something new. But what we found time and time again is for the folks who are able to take that jump, the only regret that they have is that they haven't been able to do it sooner. I think that the beauty of an event like DreamHack in particular is, again, it's a celebration of everything gaming under one roof. And so it's really, really cool to see all these different communities who maybe play in their own little silos or by themselves, all mingling together and all interacting together and all experiencing and enjoying each other's content together.
Do you feel like you have latched on to something that is revolutionary?
Yeah, I mean, I think the esports space and the gaming space as a whole is a total game changer, for lack of a better phrase. What I appreciate so much about esports in particular is that it opens and completely destroys those barriers of competition. I think that when you take a look at fighting games, for instance, right? It doesn't matter if it's your first tournament. You could be playing against the best player in the world round 1. And that's just a unique experience. It's really hard to replicate anywhere else. I mean, if you're starting out in basketball, you're probably not going to be playing against LeBron James at your first basketball event, right? I think the fact that gaming in that sense is much more inclusive and accepting is so remarkable, and I think that DreamHack does such a beautiful job of really showcasing everything that's in the gaming and esports space. I mean, right behind us, behind this hall, you'll see a $250,000 Fortnite tournament, right? Supported by Epic, which is really, fairly hands-on with how they handle esports, and then you contrast that with a stage that's right next to it, which is the fighting game stage that we have, where it's a bit more of a grassroots space. Right. And DreamHack is the only place, I think, where you can see that dichotomy, see that duality at such a grand level. And I think that that's something that makes it the perfect primer for anybody that's looking to get into gaming and esports for the first time. Right.
Well, I mean, that's true. And then anybody that's going in there, they're going to latch on to something that speaks to them personally, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's very common for somebody to maybe come in because they're a Counter-Strike fan, right? But what happens at our show in particular is they're watching Counter-Strike, and out of the corner of their eye, maybe they'll be like, what's that over there? And that's the day that they fall in love with the fighting game community, right? Mm-hmm. Those kinds of interactions, that kind of visibility, I think is what DreamHack really excels at, right? DreamHack, I mean, it's no secret, DreamHack is a bit different from every other gaming event on the planet, right? Especially when you're talking about the grand spectrum of esports. Most esports events typically are all focused around one property, one game with one main stage, right? DreamHack is so different because we have anywhere from 8 to 12 different main stages, each celebrating a different game or a different genre of games in particular. And as a result of that, you have so much different experience and different things to dive into.
It's just so interesting because the history, just where it started in that small basement with a few kids.
Yeah, just
Sweden.
No, it was just a cafeteria more or less, right? Weeding up for a weekend of gaming, hacking, and coding, and now it's really grown into this global juggernaut of sorts. And especially as we're talking about this year in particular, I think it's really pivotal for our entire organization, because it really is the critical first steps as we have what we call the vision to DreamHack 2025 and what that looks like. Again, our show is all about just putting a big spotlight on everything that is gaming and bringing all these other different universes to the world of gaming as well. I mean, that's why we have a really ambitious crossover actually this weekend on Sunday, a Final Fantasy themed fashion show with runway models, top of the line designers, like the whole 9 yards. And I think that things like that and conversations like that and shows like that couldn't have really existed not that long ago. And the fact that we're able to do that at our show not only is really telling of where our show is, but also where gaming as a whole is in the spectrum of the cultural zeitgeist. So very happy to be propelling both of those images forward in particular and just bringing so many different groups to the table.
So you're saying that the future's very bright.
Extremely bright. It's bright for DreamHack, it's bright for gaming, it's bright for esports for sure. And I think that the biggest thing again is gaming has changed so much to the point when I started working in this space, especially in esports, the big question would be, what's that? And now the question I get asked the most is, how do I get involved? And I think that shift in particular, combined with the buy-in that we're seeing from celebrities and a lot of powerful people in sports and entertainment and other areas of the world is again very telling in regards to how the world is kind of seeing us and what the trajectory of our space as a whole has. DreamHack is a celebration of everything gaming under one roof. And if I had to describe it in just one word, it would be community.